Hello and welcome to Cash in the Attic. Very often there's someone in the family who's mad keen on collecting, but there comes a time when enough is enough. And that's exactly the case with the lady I'm about to meet. She's hoping that amongst some of her items, there are plenty of them, there'll also be some treasure. Let's find out. Coming up on Cash in the Attic, a rare collection of 17th century porcelain that tickles our experts' fancy.
This is the genuine article.
Oh, it is.
Wonderful.
And a modern copy of the little Domesday Book that divides opinion when valued.
How about that?
I would never tell you your business, but I think even you're going a bit too high this time because I don't think we'll get that.
Really?
Do you know, I love a lady that puts Jonty in his place. It should happen more often, it really should. So, whose prediction will prove right on auction day?
Got that.
We can all relax.
Got there.
Find out with the final crack of the gavel. Today I'm in Lowestoft on my way to meet a family who are hoping that their big clear-out will raise enough money for a dream holiday to a musical state. Meet music fanatic Eileen White, originally from Ireland. She moved to England at 18 before marrying Roger, a sergeant major in the army. When he retired, the couple settled here in Lowestoft, and Eileen set up a cleaning business, which is now run by their grown-up children, David and Kathy. Now, Kathy just happens to have inherited her mum's love of music, and they perform together as a double act called Legacy. Sadly, we've not come here to be waltzed. In fact, we're on a mission. After a lifetime of collecting, Eileen's decided to part with some of her treasures to fund a trip that she's been longing to make. With help from her son David and our very own all-singing, all-dancing antiques expert, Jonty Hearnden, we're hoping to make Eileen's dream a reality. You must be Eileen.
Oh, I am, yes.
How are you?
Oh,
Where's
hello,
mine?
nice
Who's
to
this
meet
fella?
you. Oh, this is my son David.
How are you, David?
Hi,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, go on, why have you called in the Cash in the Attic team?
Oh, well, I'd like to go and visit Graceland and see Elvis's grave. And I'd like to go to Nashville and get some good country music. And so I'd like to raise some money to do that. I've got such a lot of stuff cluttering up the place. What can I do? Cash in the attic.
Ah, you're a wise lady. We're always the best bet. How do you feel about Mum wanting to go and to see Elvis's home?
I can think of better things to do with the money, but that's okay.
How did I know you were going to say that? How much money do you want to raise?
Well, if I could raise 1,000, that would be brilliant.
Right. Well, if you want to raise £1,000, first thing we've got to do is give you that.
Oh,
There's no time for that, I'm afraid. Jonty, our expert's already here, so let's go and have a look for him, shall we?
Oh, yes, okay.
Come on, follow
You're
me.
the boss, right?
You can wash up, is that all right?
Yeah, thanks. Cheers.
Yeah, as quick as you can, David. There's a house full of knickknacks to search, so we need as much help as possible. Eileen's been planning her pilgrimage to Graceland for years, but for now the king and his palace will have to wait. There's someone a lot closer to home for us to look up to. So Eileen, come and meet the tallest man in the antique world.
Eileen, hi.
Dear, yeah.
How you
Somebody
doing?
get me a chair.
You need one with him.
Good to see you. Well, I found these 3 baskets, but I suspect you know exactly where they're from. Am I correct?
Oh, I do. Yes, I do.
Go on then, tell us.
Well, they're from County Fermanagh, from the Bleak factory in Ireland.
So am I right assuming that you're a collector of Bleak?
Yes, I am, yes, to a certain extent now. I did collect an awful lot more and I've got boxes of it, but I think it's time to move some of them on.
Well, they are very saleable. Bleak is very popular. It was very, very desirable 20 years ago, 15 years ago, but the market has somewhat waned on some Bleak, and that's simply because it's very, very delicate, very, very fussy. Now, a little basket like this really does look like a basket, and it doesn't look like porcelain at all.
No.
It's so fine. And this would have been made, because it's first mark, and this is the mark that we've got on the underside here, this would have been made between 1863 and 1890 in County Fermanagh in Ireland. Whereas this one here is a lot later mark we've got on the back there. So these are relatively contemporary, but this one's the star of the show.
The real deal.
But put the 3 together and we're looking between 150 and 200 pounds. You happy about that?
Oh yes, I'm happy about it. I've known for some time that Belique will not realise the prices it did even 5-7 years ago, and I'm not going to have it sitting in the cupboard hoping Belique prices are coming back when I would just rather shift it and move it on now.
You've probably gathered, Jonty, that this is a lady who knows exactly what she wants, and she knows she wants it now. 150 quid, that's a good start, isn't it?
Yeah, if I could have it yesterday, I'd be delighted.
She's going to be trouble, I think. Come on, let's carry on with the rummage. We need to get you to Nashville. Actually, it doesn't sound like we're going to have any trouble persuading Eileen to part with her collectibles today. As we spread out to commence a detailed search of her home, I'm pleased to see that David has finished his washing up duties and has joined the hunt for hidden treasures too. Eileen's headed for the bedroom. From the back of a drawer, she digs out no less than 3 ladies' wristwatches, all by the Swiss watchmaker Roma. She bought them at a charity auction, but the dials are too small for her to read, so they've been stuck out of sight ever since. Eileen's keen for them to be sold, and Jonty thinks they could add another £80 to £120 to the kitty.
I found this. Maybe you might want to take a look at this.
A Tantalus. Where was this from?
I think Eileen bought it in an antiques fair in about 1998. She wanted things reminded of her when she was growing up, and I think my nan had one.
Okay.
So I think it's always been for show rather than actually to use.
Now, do you know how old this is?
I would say, by the looks of it, around about the 20s maybe.
Well, you're not far off. It's probably a little earlier than that. I would suggest this is just pre the First World War, so not just post. The quality is all there to be Edwardian, which is very nice indeed. And these were very popular in the second half of the 19th century, all the way through to the 1920s. After the 1920s, people really, I suppose, put their drinks in cocktail cabinets. So fashions for Tantalus like this had waned. Whereas in the late 19th century and early 20th century, often alcohol was served and displayed in Tantaluses just like this. And they're always under lock and key.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm assuming it's because, well, so that the maybe the servants or something couldn't get to it. I'm assuming that's what it was.
Yeah, absolutely right. I think it's a really good thing to put in the sale because they're always good sellers. Well, I think we're looking at 80 to 120 here.
Oh, she'll be pleased with that, I'm sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Very good. I'll drink to that too.
Yeah.
No, I can't. Second thought. Good, excellent. Let's go and find some more.
Yeah, certainly.
If you're keen to buy a Tantalus, it's wise to check the condition of the glass stoppers to ensure that they're not chipped. Fortunately, these are in perfect condition, which should add to its saleability. As the search continues, Eileen's busy making finds, and I head out to her garage, where I find a collection of books that look as if they've never been opened. There's an encyclopedia and a set of bound copies of the Strand magazine, famous for publishing the works of many great authors, including regular instalments of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Eileen bought these at a country house sale, and Jonty thinks they could fetch £50 to £75 at auction.
Oh, there you are, Eileen.
Here I am.
Looking at your jewellery. So what exactly are we looking at?
We're looking at all the jewellery that I no longer want and I've hardly ever worn, and I really think it's time for it to go. We've got these 2 pieces, one's a brooch, one's a bracelet. Now, I bought these in Harrods, and I bought it because, apart from the fact I love teddy bears, I play accordion occasionally. But when you put it on there, you see, what happens is it'll bang against the keys of either, and they can damage the keys. So, sadly, the teddy bear's got to go. This is a lovely piece as well. It's to be worn up on a shoulder. It looks better against black.
Look at that.
Yeah.
My word. So we're actually looking at a stylised lion here, are we?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yeah. With,
all these lovely Diamante
I know.
stones. And
Pretty, isn't it? They are what they are, like costume jewellery. You know.
Yes. Can we put this into the auction sale?
Oh
as
yes,
consequence?
yes.
Yeah.
It's not going to be worn, right. So it's a shame to just
We'll
leave
put
it lying
Mr.
around.
Lion back in the box now.
I will.
Now this has caught my eye. Tell me about this bracelet here.
I bought that at a sale in Achill, just an auction in Achill. About 4 or 5 years ago.
Let me just pick this up and have a look.
I think it's 9 carat gold or 18 carat, I'm not sure. But it's white and blue sapphires.
That really is very charming. If this is all to go to the auction sale, I think conservatively we're looking at £250, £350, and hopefully we'll get a lot more than that.
A promising valuation indeed, Jonty, but will his hopes for the jewellery become a reality?
180, 190, 200, 220, 220 bid. I have 240.
We'll find out soon if this bidding frenzy continues. We're making really good progress today and have already discovered collectibles with a potential auction value of £610. So as we're more than halfway towards our target, I think it's a good opportunity to learn a little bit more about the lady of the house. Everywhere you look in this house there are musical instruments. Just in this little corner alone there's about 10 mouth organs over there, an accordion. Music means everything to you, doesn't it?
Yes, it does actually. I couldn't live without it. It wouldn't be possible for me to get through the day without some sort of music, even if it's only listening to music or singing along.
And where does that love of music come from then?
Well, my grandmother played the harmonium and my grandfather played clarinet in the Dorsetshire Regiment. And then their daughter, my mum, she was a fabulous classical pianist. My father, whom she met at a charity concert, was a wonderful, wonderful tenor. So that was their love of music. It brought them together. When I was 18 and I didn't have a boyfriend, what was all the time, he would take me out with him on a Saturday night, go into the various pubs in Dundalk and he'd say, the daughter's going to play the piano and I'm going to sing. I used to play sing-along stuff and big band sound, anything from the 40s and 30s. And 50s. Then I got into rock and roll, you know, Johnny B. Good, Frankie and Johnny, Elvis Presley, Jailhouse Rock.
So what did it mean to you, do you reckon, then, to get to Graceland?
Well, Kathy went to Graceland a few years ago and brought me back the book about it. And she said, Mum, you've got to go, you loved Elvis. I was the right age when Elvis came along. We all had a pop idol and Elvis was mine.
And how many of these instruments do you actually play?
Well, I play the Thyros keyboard and I play that. I've got a big accordion. I've got my mother's originally accordion and I've got another old accordion there in the loft. Pan pipes and I've got an ocarina somewhere.
Where does all this energy come from?
I don't know. I have no idea. Right now I'm dead beat, I can tell you. I've been on my feet all day. But I can't live without it.